Clinical psychology is a fascinating field dedicated to understanding, predicting, and alleviating psychological problems across diverse populations. The term was first coined by Leitner Whitmer in 1907, who also established the first psychological clinic in 1896. Since then, clinical psychology has grown to encompass research, teaching, and a variety of services aimed at improving mental health. This discipline is unique in its blend of science and practice, making it a cornerstone of modern psychological care. In this video, we'll explore its origins, training models, career paths, and more. Leitner Whitmer is often called the father of clinical psychology. In 1896, he opened the first psychological clinic, setting the stage for a new approach to mental health. By 1907, he introduced the term clinical psychology, emphasizing the importance of applying scientific methods to real-world psychological issues. Whitmer's vision was to combine research and practical intervention, a philosophy that still guides the field today. His pioneering work laid the foundation for the diverse roles clinical psychologists play in society. Clinical psychologists are involved in a range of activities. The majority, about 76–87%, provide psychotherapy, helping individuals manage and overcome mental health challenges. But their work doesn't stop there. They also conduct assessments, teach, supervise trainees, and engage in research. This variety ensures that clinical psychologists are well-rounded professionals, equipped to address complex psychological needs in many different settings. To become a clinical psychologist, rigorous training is required. There are several main training models, each with its own philosophy and focus. These models shape the way future psychologists balance research and practice, and they influence the skills and knowledge students acquire during their education. Let's take a closer look at the Boulder, Vail, and clinical scientist models. Boulder model, also known as the science practitioner model, was established at a 1949 conference in Boulder, Colorado. This approach emphasizes an equal balance between research and clinical practice. Students in Boulder model PhD programs are trained to be both skilled practitioners and competent researchers. This dual focus prepares graduates to contribute to the field through both scientific discovery and direct client care. Vail model, or practitioner scholar model, was introduced at a 1973 conference in Vail, Colorado. This training path places a stronger emphasis on clinical practice rather than research. Students in PsyD programs following the Vail model focus on developing advanced clinical skills, preparing them for direct work with clients. While research is still valued, the primary goal is to produce highly competent practitioners. Clinical scientist model takes the scientific approach even further. This model, typically associated with PhD programs, places the strongest emphasis on empirical research and evidence-based methods. Students are trained to advance the science of clinical psychology, often pursuing careers in academia or research-intensive settings. The goal is to ensure that clinical practice is always grounded in the latest scientific evidence. Gaining admission to clinical psychology programs is highly competitive. PhD programs typically admit only 7–16% of applicants, reflecting their strong research focus and limited spots. PsyD programs are somewhat less competitive, with acceptance rates around 40–50%. Applicants are evaluated on multiple factors including GPA, GRE scores, research and clinical experience, strong letters of recommendation, and compelling personal statements. Stand out in the competitive admissions process, applicants need more than just good grades. Successful candidates typically have strong research experience, relevant clinical work, impressive letters of recommendation, and well-crafted personal statements. These elements demonstrate a commitment to the field and readiness for the demands of graduate training. Admissions committees look for well-rounded individuals who can excel in both academic and clinical settings. Doctoral degree is essential for becoming a licensed clinical psychologist. Whether pursuing a PhD or PsyD, students undergo years of rigorous academic and practical training. This advanced education ensures that clinical psychologists are well prepared to handle the complexities of mental health care, from assessment and diagnosis to intervention and research. Internships are a critical component of clinical psychology training. Most states require both a predoctoral and a postdoctoral internship. These hands-on experiences allow students to apply their knowledge in real-world settings, working under supervision to develop their clinical skills. Internships are often challenging but provide invaluable preparation for independent practice. Licensure is a multi-step process. After earning a doctoral degree and completing internships, candidates must pass the examination for professional practice in psychology (EPPP), and in most states a state-specific exam. Continuing education is also required to maintain licensure. These steps ensure that licensed clinical psychologists meet high standards of competence and ethical practice. Even after becoming licensed, clinical psychologists must engage in continuing education. This ongoing learning keeps professionals up to date with the latest research, techniques, and ethical standards. It's a lifelong commitment to growth and excellence, ensuring that psychologists provide the best possible care to their clients. Private practice is the most common employment setting for clinical psychologists, with 30–41% choosing this path. In private practice, psychologists have the flexibility to set their own schedules, select their clients, and develop specialized areas of expertise. This autonomy is appealing to many, though it also comes with the responsibilities of running a business. Many clinical psychologists work in universities, where they combine teaching, research, and clinical supervision. These roles allow psychologists to shape the next generation of professionals while advancing the science of psychology. University settings offer a stimulating environment for those who enjoy both academic and clinical work. Hospitals are another important employment setting for clinical psychologists. Here, they collaborate with medical teams to provide comprehensive care for patients with complex mental health needs. Hospital psychologists may work in general hospitals, psychiatric units, or specialized clinics, offering assessment, therapy, and consultation services. Community mental health centers employ clinical psychologists to serve diverse populations, often focusing on underserved or high-need groups. These settings emphasize accessible, affordable care and may involve crisis intervention, outreach, and prevention programs. Psychologists in these roles make a significant impact on public health and community well-being. Veterans Affairs, VA medical centers are a key employer of clinical psychologists. These professionals provide specialized care for veterans, addressing issues such as PTSD, depression, and adjustment to civilian life. Working in VA centers requires a unique understanding of military culture and the specific challenges faced by veterans. Psychotherapy is the primary activity for most clinical psychologists. Through various therapeutic approaches, psychologists help clients manage mental health issues, develop coping strategies, and improve their quality of life. This work is both challenging and rewarding, requiring empathy, skill, and ongoing professional development. In addition to therapy, clinical psychologists conduct psychological assessments. These evaluations help diagnose mental health conditions, guide treatment planning, and inform other professionals. Assessment skills are essential for understanding complex cases and ensuring that clients receive appropriate care. Many clinical psychologists are involved in teaching and supervising students or trainees. This role is crucial for passing on knowledge, skills, and ethical standards to the next generation. Supervision also ensures that new clinicians are well prepared to provide high-quality care. Research is a vital part of clinical psychology. Psychologists conduct studies to better understand mental health, develop new treatments, and improve existing interventions. Their findings contribute to the evidence base that guides clinical practice and policy decisions. Clinical psychology workforce is predominantly white 83% and female 70%, with a mean age of 48.4 years. Compared to the general population, clinical psychologists tend to be less religious and more liberal. These demographic trends reflect both historical and current patterns in the field. While the field has made progress, increasing diversity remains a challenge. Efforts are underway to recruit and support psychologists from underrepresented backgrounds. Greater diversity enriches the profession and improves care for clients from all walks of life. It's important to distinguish clinical psychologists from psychiatrists. Psychiatrists are medical doctors, MDs, who can prescribe medication, while clinical psychologists focus on psychotherapy and assessment. Both professions play vital roles in mental health care, often working together as part of a treatment team. Counseling psychologists are similar to clinical psychologists but typically work with less severe mental health issues. Their focus is often on life transitions, adjustment problems, and personal growth. They use many of the same therapeutic techniques but may work in different settings, such as schools or community agencies. Social workers are another key group in mental health care. They emphasize environmental and social factors, helping clients navigate resources and support systems. While their training differs from psychologists, social workers often collaborate closely with other professionals to provide holistic care. School psychologists work primarily in educational settings, supporting students' academic, emotional, and behavioral needs. They conduct assessments, provide counseling, and collaborate with teachers and families to create positive learning environments. Their work is essential for promoting student well-being and success. Counselors and marriage and family therapists, MFTs, typically hold master's degrees. They provide therapy for individuals, couples, and families, addressing a range of emotional and relational issues. While their training is shorter than that of clinical psychologists, they play a vital role in the mental health system. A hallmark of clinical psychology is its commitment to evidence-based practice. This means using treatments and interventions that are supported by scientific research. By relying on evidence, clinical psychologists ensure that their clients receive the most effective care possible. Clinical psychologists adhere to strict ethical standards. These guidelines protect clients' rights, ensure confidentiality, and promote professional integrity. Ethics are a core part of training and ongoing practice, guiding psychologists in complex and sensitive situations. Professional organizations such as the American Psychological Association, APA, play a significant role in clinical psychology. They set standards for education, training, and practice, advocate for the profession, and provide resources for ongoing development. Membership in these organizations supports professional growth and networking. Ongoing research is essential for advancing clinical psychology. Psychologists regularly contribute to scientific literature, exploring new treatments, understanding mental health trends, and evaluating the effectiveness of interventions. This commitment to research keeps the field dynamic and responsive to changing needs. Supervision is a cornerstone of clinical psychology training. Experienced psychologists mentor students and early career professionals, providing guidance, feedback, and support. This process ensures that new clinicians develop the skills and judgment needed for independent practice. Clinical psychologists use a variety of assessment tools to evaluate mental health. These may include interviews, standardized tests, and behavioral observations. Accurate assessment is critical for diagnosis, treatment planning, and measuring progress over time. Clinical psychologists are trained in a range of therapeutic approaches, from cognitive behavioral therapy to psychodynamic and humanistic methods. This versatility allows them to tailor treatment to each client's unique needs, drawing on the best available evidence. Clinical psychologists often work as part of interdisciplinary teams, collaborating with psychiatrists, social workers, nurses, and other professionals. This teamwork ensures comprehensive care for clients, addressing both psychological and physical health needs. Technology is increasingly important in clinical psychology. From telehealth services to electronic health records, digital tools are transforming how psychologists deliver care, conduct research, and manage information. Staying current with technology is essential for modern practice. Cultural competence is vital for effective clinical practice. Psychologists must understand and respect clients' cultural backgrounds, values, and experiences. This sensitivity enhances the therapeutic relationship and ensures that care is relevant and respectful. Clinical psychologists often serve as advocates for mental health, working to reduce stigma, improve access to care, and influence policy. Advocacy is an important way psychologists contribute to the well-being of individuals and communities. Maintaining work-life balance is essential for clinical psychologists. The demands of the profession can be intense, so self-care and healthy boundaries are important for long-term success and well-being. Many psychologists prioritize activities outside of work to recharge and prevent burnout. A career in clinical psychology offers flexibility. Psychologists can work in private practice, hospitals, universities, community agencies, or government settings. This variety allows professionals to find roles that match their interests and strengths. Many clinical psychologists report high levels of job satisfaction. Helping clients overcome challenges and improve their lives is deeply rewarding. The field also offers opportunities for ongoing learning, professional growth, and meaningful connections. The field of clinical psychology continues to evolve. Advances in research, technology, and cultural awareness are shaping new approaches to care. As society's understanding of mental health grows, clinical psychologists will play an even more important role in promoting well-being. Clinical psychology is a dynamic and impactful profession. From its origins with Leitner Whitmer to its current role in research, practice, and advocacy, the field continues to shape mental health care. Whether through therapy, assessment, teaching, or research, clinical psychologists make a lasting difference in the lives of individuals and communities.